How's it hanging, everybody? You know, I thought I was done. I thought I was done with these retro emulation-based handheld devices because how many times can we do this dance? How many times can we get a new Anbernic or a new Retroid or a new Miu or whatever and be impressed all over again and buy it all over again and pretend that it's somehow new and unique from what we had 6 months ago or whatever our purchasing cycle is for these things. I thought I was done, and then I see something like this. And can I justify picking one of these up? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, you know, I'm going to embarrass myself a little bit right here and mention that I have a Steam Deck, Analog Pocket, of course a Nintendo Switch. I just hacked my PS Vita. So that's a thing that's happening right now. I have, of course, the unbeatable Miu Mini, which I think this is the thing to beat still in the emulation space. But then there's the kind of mid-tier devices. And that's what this is, the Retroid Pocket Flip. It was just unveiled today, and I think that it looks absolutely exquisite. Of course, these are just renders that we're looking at, and we have no real information about the machine itself. We have no details on the the specs or anything. All we have is what's on the renders here. So we're going to talk a little bit about what we're seeing. First of all, let me just mention that I absolutely love the clamshell design. I think it's so practical with a handheld device to make it clamshell. First of all, the screen and the buttons are not all fighting for real estate on one surface. You can spread them out between two surfaces. The screen is on top, the buttons are on bottom. Everything's got a lot of space. You close it up, it's self-protected. Everything is self-protected. The screen is protected. The face buttons are protected. Yeah, the shoulder buttons and like the volume slider and whatever are maybe exposed, but you take the L on that, it's fine. And then you can throw this in whatever bag you want. You can throw it in your pocket, and you don't have to necessarily get a travel case for this thing. I mean, you might choose to anyway, but you don't really need to clamshell a clamshell. It's self-protecting. So it also, like I said, it just makes it smaller and more pocketable. It's all kind of squished down onto these two surfaces, and I love the clamshell design. One last thing about the clamshell design. There's something about when you have one of those flip-up screens, your eye level is just above your hands. Whereas, I think this is why I enjoyed playing my Nintendo 3DS more than my Vita. Because with the Vita, your eyes are right where your hands are, which is how most of these handheld devices are these days. But then I really appreciate having it a little bit above. Like that's what the Miu Mini's got going on. It's got the Game Boy design where the screen is on top, the buttons are on bottom. So I appreciate that because I feel like it's a little more ergonomic with the hand-to-eye orientation. I know it's nitpicky, but I just prefer that, I guess. So in other words, for me, this Retroid Pocket Flip is for me. I got to pick this thing up. And can I justify it? Absolutely not, for reasons I just mentioned. But then this thing shows up on my feed today and it's just like, hey, I know you thought you were done, but look at me. Look how sexy I am. I'm a clamshell emulation device, which is what you've always wanted. And here I am in all of my glory. And look how bulgy my trigger buttons are on the back. Come on, you want it. And I do. So I'm probably going to be pre-ordering this thing and picking it up. I've never actually had a Retroid device, but I keep hearing good things about Retroid. I was always a little more intrigued by the Anbernic ones, so I've always picked up Anbernic over Retroid, and then of course the Miu Mini. And then I have all the other ones I have as well. But for me, I hear good things about Retroid. I hear the buttons are pretty solid. The build quality is really solid. And the experience is solid, of course, because this is probably going to have Android, I think we can assume. It also has Wi-Fi, which is something that, for example, the Miu Mini does not have. The Miu Mini Plus, I think, has Wi-Fi. But what I really want to do is I really want to get one of these things, one of these newer devices with Wi-Fi, and I want to set up RetroArch cloud saves between this and my PC and my Steam Deck, because my Steam Deck is like my at-home handheld. This could be more like my on-the-go handheld. So, when I'm playing Lunar the Silver Star for Sega CD, which I am now, and I want to go into a weird dungeon and grind for a while, because that's like all you do in that game is just grind, then I can do that, and my cloud saves follow me everywhere, and that's the dream. That's my dream. So I like the idea of having one of these mid-sized devices that's still pocketable, must be pocketable, but actually is on Wi-Fi and can do like retro achievements and things like that. It's like, that's really cool. Another really cool thing about this thing that I know is on a lot of the other devices these days, but HDMI out, mini HDMI out. The ultimate, to me looks like the ultimate like travel companion, like boring business conference companion. Because, you're going out of town, you're at some boring business conference, you're in a boring town, you're just at the hotel hanging out, and what do? You break out this thing, you hook it up to your TV in the hotel room, you break out a Bluetooth controller, and then boom, you've got this like pretty awesome, like performing, powerful handheld that you can play right on your TV and pick it up and go handheld with it very easily. And I think that's super cool as well. That's a very cool possibility and something I like about these newer devices that are coming out. So yeah, I think this is the one for me. I really hope that Retroid does not pull a fast one on us, and immediately after this comes out, or immediately after it shows up at my doorstep, they announce the Retroid Pocket Flip Plus. Retroid, don't do that. Hopefully this is the Retroid Pocket Flip Plus, and the next time they put one of these out, it will be an actual, like, reasonable upgrade, like a substantial upgrade that they can justify making new hardware for, instead of just screwing over the customers of the initial product and making them buy it all over again or whatever. So, I don't know. In short, I'm super stoked about this thing. Like I said, love clamshells, love the handheld emulators, as you probably know if you watch the channel. And I have a problem. And Retroid is not helping. They're not helping matters by coming out with this thing. So we don't have any details as of now, no actual specs or anything. Like I said, I think we're going to get those later in the week. Maybe I'll jump back on at that time and we can go a little deeper with this. But, I haven't talked about handhelds in a while on the channel, so I thought this would be a good opportunity to jump on here and catch up with you guys on the handheld side of things. What handhelds are you playing these days? Have you picked one up recently? What are you feeling? Do you have a Miu Mini like me? Are you sad that the Miu Mini's discontinued? And what else is going on with you guys? I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Thanks for checking me out. Later.